You're sitting in a waiting room. The appointment was supposed to start 10 minutes ago. You check your phone. 3 minutes have passed. You look at the clock on the wall. Check your watch. Look back at your phone. Time is moving. You can feel it every second, but it's not moving forward. It's stretching. 10 minutes in this room doesn't feel like 10 minutes. It feels like an hour. This is the clock watch loop. And at minute 9, you'll see the exact moment time stops being something that passes and becomes something you endure. People say waiting feels long. That's true. But it's not the whole story. Waiting doesn't just feel long. It feels distorted, warped, like time itself changed shape. You've been in other 10-minute periods today. In the shower, scrolling your feed. Cooking breakfast. Those 10 minutes disappeared. You didn't feel them. But 10 minutes in a waiting room? You feel every single one, not because the clock is different, because your attention is. This is educational. Storytelling based on composite scenarios and research. Not medical, legal, or therapeutic advice. Let's reconstruct what happened. You arrive at the doctor's office, the dentist, the DMV. Wherever people wait, you check in. They tell you, just a few minutes. You sit down. The room is quiet. Beige walls. Magazines you don't want to read. A clock on the wall. You don't have anything to do. So you wait. At first, it's fine. You're calm. Patient. Then you think, how long has it been? You check your phone. 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes. You put your phone away. Tell yourself, don't check again. Just wait. But the thought is there now. The question, how long has it been? You glance at the clock. Another minute. You check your phone. 2 minutes since you last checked. 5 minutes total. You're not just waiting anymore. You're monitoring. And that's when time starts to stretch. Pause now. Close your eyes. No timer. No clock. Try to feel exactly 60 seconds pass. When you think a minute has gone by, open your eyes and check. How close were you? Most people are off. Way off. Some guess 30 seconds. Some guess 2 minutes. Because time doesn't feel consistent. It bends depending on where your attention is. And in a waiting room, your attention is on the clock, which makes every second feel longer than it is. Let's look at the evidence. 3 clues. Clue 1. The first check feels reasonable. Waiting room. 3 minutes in. You check the time. It feels about right. 3 minutes. Makes sense. You put your phone away. You're fine, but the seed is planted. You've started the loop. Clue 2. The second check feels wrong. Waiting room. You check again. Only 2 minutes have passed, but it felt like 5. Maybe 10. You're confused, frustrated. How is it only 2 minutes? Time isn't moving the way it should. Clue 3. The third check locks you in. Waiting room. You check again. 1 minute. 1 minute since the last check. But it felt eternal. Now, you're not waiting for the appointment. You're waiting for time itself to move. And the more you watch it, the slower it goes. Let's reconstruct the timeline. Second by second. Waiting room. Minute 0. You sit down. Time feels normal. Minute 1. You're calm, present, not thinking about the clock. Minute 2. First thought, how long has it been? Minute 2, 15 seconds. You check your phone. 2 minutes. Feels right. Minute 3. You put your phone away. Tell yourself to stop checking. Minute 4. The question comes back. How much longer? Minute 4. 30 seconds. You check the clock on the wall. 4 minutes. Feels like more. Minute 5. You're no longer present in the room. You're present in the duration, feeling every second tick. Minute 6. You check again. 1 minute since last check. Feels like 3. Minute 7. Another check. Still 7 minutes total. Time is crawling. Minute 8. You can't stop checking now. The loop is locked. Minute 9. This is the collapse point. Minute 9. You're no longer waiting. You're monitoring time. And monitoring time doesn't make it pass faster. It makes you feel it slower. This is the clock watch loop. Every glance at the clock pulls your attention into the interval, into the space between now and later. And the more attention you give the interval, the longer it feels, not because time changed, because you're experiencing it differently. You're not letting time pass. You're watching it pass, and watching makes it stretch. So what's actually happening here? Let's go to trial. The prosecution's case is simple. You're impatient, restless. You can't sit still, can't be present. If you had more discipline, more control, you'd wait peacefully. The room doesn't make time feel long. You do. Guilty. The defense calls one witness. Your perception system. Waiting room. Minute 2. You check the time. Your brain doesn't just note the time. It marks it. Creates a timestamp. Then it waits for the next check. When you check again, your brain calculates the gap, measures the duration. But here's the thing. The act of measuring changes the measurement. This is called temporal monitoring. When you're not watching time, your brain processes it in the background. Duration is compressed. Minutes disappear. But when you are watching time, your brain brings it into focus. Every second becomes an event. Duration expands. It's not that the clock is slow. It's that your attention is counting every tick. The prosecution says, you can't wait. The defense says, you're locked in a monitoring loop. Monitoring time increases perceived duration. Attention locks onto the interval. Verdict. Not guilty. Time didn't slow down. You made yourself feel it. So here's the question. Can you break the loop? Can you sit in a waiting room, or a train delay, or a long line, and let 10 minutes feel like 10 minutes? Yes, but not by forcing yourself to stop checking. By training the switch. This is the time dilation switch. 4-step protocol to unlock your attention from the interval and let time pass without stretching. Step 1. The no monitor rule. First 5 minutes. When you sit down to wait, make a deal with yourself. No clock checks for 5 minutes. None. Not your phone. Not the wall clock. Not your watch. Just sit. Be in the room. Notice the space, the sounds, your body in the chair. 5 minutes. That's it. This breaks the monitoring loop before it starts. Step 2. The attention anchor. One object only. Waiting room. You need something to do with your attention. Not your phone. Not a clock. One object in the room. A plant. A pattern on the floor. The texture of the chair. Look at it. Really look. Notice details you wouldn't normally see. This gives your attention somewhere to go that isn't time. Step 3. The body scan. 30 seconds. Waiting room. You feel the urge to check the time. Instead, scan your body. Feet on the floor. Weight in the chair. Hands in your lap. Breath moving in and out. 30 seconds. Then return to the room. This resets your attention back to the present moment instead of the interval. Step 4. The permission check. After 10 minutes. Waiting room. 10 minutes have passed. Now you can check. Look at the time. Note it and put it away. No judgment. No frustration. Just information. Then return to steps 2 and 3. This is the switch. Not resisting the urge to check. but spacing the checks so they don't lock you into the loop. Here's the failure point. Step 1. The no monitor rule. You sit down. Tell yourself, no checking for 5 minutes. 30 seconds later, you check. Why? Because the urge to check isn't logical. It's compulsive, and resisting it creates tension, which makes time feel even slower. So here's the escape route. If you feel the urge to check in the first 5 minutes, don't fight it. Instead, do this. Check once, fully, deliberately. Look at the time. Say the number out loud in your mind. 3 minutes. Then close your eyes for 10 seconds. Reset. Then begin the no monitor rule again. 1 intentional check is better than 10 anxious half-dash checks. The failure point is trying to resist without replacing. The escape route is checking once with full awareness, then anchoring your attention somewhere else. Now, here's the experiment. 7 days. 1 session per day. Every day, find 5 minutes to wait. Intentionally, with no input. No phone, no book, no music, no clock. Just you. Sitting, waiting. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Put it face down. Don't look, then sit. At the end of 5 minutes, rate 2 things. 1. Tolerance minutes. 0 to 5. How many full minutes could you sit without feeling the urge to check time or reach for a distraction? 0 means you couldn't make it 30 seconds. 5 means you sat the full 5 minutes comfortably. 2. Perceived duration versus actual. Once per day. After the 5-minute session, guess how long it felt. Then check the actual time. Did 5 minutes feel like 3? Like 7? Like 10? Track the gap. Most people see this pattern. Day 1. Tolerance. 1 minute. Perceived duration. Felt like 8 minutes. Day 3. Tolerance. 2 minutes. Perceived duration. Felt like 6 minutes. Day 7. Tolerance. 4 minutes. Perceived duration. Felt like 5 minutes. The pattern. The more you train your attention to rest without monitoring, the less time stretches. You're not learning to be patient. You're learning to let time pass without locking onto it. Here's the restart rule. If you miss a day, don't restart the count. Just do the next session. This isn't a streak. It's a skill. Every session builds it. Let's look at what changes. Before the switch. Waiting room. 10 minutes. Time elapsed. 10 minutes. Perceived duration. 45 minutes. Maybe an hour. Feeling after. Drained, frustrated. Time felt hostile. After the switch. Waiting room. 10 minutes. Time elapsed. 10 minutes. Perceived duration. 12, maybe 15 minutes. Feeling after. Calm, neutral. Time felt normal. Same 10 minutes. Different experience. One was monitored. The other was allowed to pass. The difference, isn't this? Wait. It's whether you locked your attention onto the interval or let it rest elsewhere. So here's the real question. What would it feel like if waiting stopped feeling like torture? If 10 minutes in a waiting room felt like 10 minutes, not an eternity? If you could sit in a delay, a line, a pause, and let time move without stretching it? The clock watch loop isn't a time problem. It's an attention problem. The clock doesn't make time. Past. It makes you feel it. And once you stop monitoring every second, time snaps back into proportion. Not faster. Just real. Think about the last time you waited for something. How long did it feel? And how much of that length came from the wait itself? And how much came from watching the clock? See you tomorrow. In the examined day,